It's cracking. Oh, yeah, you should see that beauty. I think it's still bleeding. I got a bunch of old Model Master paints, the little bottles, and I'm getting rid of them. I'm going to bring them down to my hobby shop because she'll be selling them. I had a bunch that were never opened, and most of them were used, but still like halfway, three quarters full. So I talked to her. She goes, "Yeah, I'll take them because a lot of guys are still using them." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm done with enamels." So I went through them today, found all the full ones, and so I'm trying to open one. The top is stuck. So I put a pair of pliers on it. You should have heard the thing explode. So now this finger is completely covered in glass. It's not bleeding, it's just covered in glass. And I can see just a pinprick of blood down here. So, because I didn't want to wipe it with a paper towel because of all the glass that was on. So I go upstairs and I just stuck it under the cold water, let all the water blow. Luckily it blasted. So then I put my finger up. You should have seen it start to bleed. So I got probably about an inch long slice in my finger. Jesus Christ, I'm telling you. So after that, I didn't try to open it anymore. If they didn't open, I consider them used. So, today, this is will be the final video on our Rolls-Royce Phantom 2. Pretty cool car. Come out pretty nice, actually. Mrs. Mack was very impressed with the color. If you don't want to listen to the history, go to the end. There's going to be pictures. So I'm going to spin you around and I'll read you the history. Hang on. Let me wet my whistle. All right, you ready? Here we go. The 1931 Rolls-Royce Phantom 2 Henley Convertible is one of the greatest classic cars of all time. The very name Rolls-Royce is one of the most respected in automobiles, dating back to the famed Silver Ghost chassis, first built in 1906. Rolls-Royce was the result of the Honorable Charles S. Rolls, a sportsman and racing driver of international fame, convincing Mr. F. Henry Royce, an established automotive engineer, that a car of their combined experience and ideals would be unexcelled in design and construction. Mr. Royce, who became the designer, builder, and engineer-in-chief of the Rolls-Royce, with the aid of a brilliant staff, has achieved that goal. From the very beginning, the Rolls-Royce was a cost-no-object automobile. Other cars were built to sell at a price. The Rolls-Royce was built with one thing in mind: to make the best car in the world, regardless of cost. And I didn't even know this. I wonder if this factory is still there. In 1920, Rolls-Royce came to America and established a complete factory in Springfield, Massachusetts, which is about an hour and a half from us. It's out by the New York border. In order to carry out the spirit of the English organization, a group of 53 supervisors were brought from England. Along with their families, they brought blueprints and actual samples of every part of the Rolls-Royce in each stage of construction for comparison. The Rolls-Royce was built from the radiator to the rear axle in the Springfield works. At this time, the Silver Ghost chassis was still in production. The Rolls-Royce built at Springfield was identical to that built at Derby in England. Their parts were completely interchangeable except for the steering, which in England was on the right-hand drive. In 1925, the Phantom 1 chassis went into production. It was produced until late 1929 when the Phantom 2 chassis was started. At this point, we would like to explain the Rolls-Royce specialized in making only the chassis. The coachwork had to be attained separately. So in other words, they built the chassis, you had to go find somebody to build the body. However, the increasing demands of customers and the desire by Rolls-Royce to see coachwork only of corresponding high quality used, it was deemed necessary not only to supervise but to build and finish complete motor carriages. In America in 1926, Brewster and Company, leading American carriage builder since 1810, was acquired to build coachwork exclusively on the Rolls-Royce chassis. The Phantom II chassis, which was a direct descendant of the Phantom I and the Silver Ghost, incorporated ideas in the 20s that we think of as modern today. The engine was a 7-main bearing overhead valve, 468 cubic inch 6-cylinder type, producing a very conservative, it says RAC rated 43.3 horsepower. This was capable of powering this 5,490-pound car to speeds of up to 90 miles an hour. The engine was fitted with a dual ignition system, one the present-day battery and coil system, and the other by magneto. While both systems were independent of each other, perfect synchronization between them was attained to ensure correct timing at all speeds. Dual carburetors were used, one of which was for starting and slow running only. The starting carburetor was fitted with a tap in the main oil supply line and would feed oil to the cylinder walls upon starting. This eliminated the risk of damage should the car be driven before oil circulation had a chance to become thoroughly established. An unusually complete system of lubrication of the whole engine and accessory drives uses oil under 3 separate pressures. The engine was fitted with a self-cleaning oil filter. The filter was designed so that it would scrape itself clean of the dirt collected on the filtering surfaces and deposit the residue in the base of the filter casing. This mechanism was interconnected with the clutch pedal so that it would require no special action by the driver. In construction of the engine, each cylinder was lapped in by special dummy pistons so that the walls were perfectly smooth when the actual pistons were installed. The temperature of the engine was maintained through the use of thermostatically operated radiator shutters. Say that 3 times fast. That famous Rolls-Royce radiator has never been changed to this day. We're almost done. The frame was built of heat-treated nickel steel alloy braced with tubular cross members and underbraced with tie rods which were heat-treated nickel steel forgings. The frame was fastened together not with rivets but with specially heat-treated nickel steel tapered bolts, each one fitted in a ream-tapered hole. This frame was the result of a bumping machine which tested frames to the extent that it crowded 10 years into one day. These tests showed that rivets, the common method of fastening frames, was not adequate. It proved that bolting parts together, many small bolts, were stronger than a few large ones. This chassis also featured centralized lubrication, a system whereby all working parts requiring lubrication were lubricated by the pull of a knob from the driver's seat. The coachwork of this Henley Convertible, which is this car here, was executed by the Brewster and Company of New York and features such unusual touches as side-opening rumble seat, solid Philippine mahogany running boards, and a firewall and body made of cast aluminum. Rolls-Royce scorned plating by electrolysis, which was cheaper and deemed inadequate, so all the bright metal parts were either nickel or close plated, a process in which a sheet of nickel 0.006 inches was thick was soldered to the parts. The total cost of this automobile at the time of manufacture was approximately $19,000, depending on appointments. Overall length was 220 inches on a 150-inch wheelbase. So that is my 1931. Let's go look. She got painted this color. Hang on. She got painted this color. Really cool color, guys. I'm really happy with this. Come on, we'll go look. Hang on. Brilliant day out there today. On the cool side. Yeah, on the cool side. Oh, I almost forgot. Jesus Christ. All right, hang on. Spin you around. Let's go. All right, we're off. We're off on safari. Yeah, I'll take you inside and show you. It's a spectacular day out here today. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Nice and quiet. A few birds. Yeah, it is. All right. Let's go, guys. Oh, man. We went out for lunch. Me and Mrs. Mac went to Blondie's, that barbecue place again. Got the chicken wings, the stuffed jalapeno poppers. Oh, my God, was that stuff good. All right. You ready? You ready? Here it is. There's our 1931 Rolls-Royce. What was it? Phantom 2? Yeah. I'm real happy with that color, boys. That is a cool color, I think. Steering works. Steering works. Yeah. Yeah. Our interior. There's close-up pictures. There should be a couple close-up pictures. That dashboard was all me. The thing that they gave you in the kit was the dashboard, and you could just barely see all the gauges and the little buttons. So I'm like, yeah, we got to make that better than that. Yes, that does work. That does work. But yeah, I'm real happy with how she came out. A little problem with the paint. I don't know if you can see it right in here. I don't know what happened. That was the only spot in the whole car. But yeah, I'm real happy with how she looks. So our motor, our engine rather. But yeah, I'm real pleased with this. Very pleased with that. Let me know what you think, boys. I don't know if you can see the underneath. It's really not, it's not a whole lot to show you. If I can do it without breaking anything, I'll just snap that little thing off. Yeah, there we go. Oh, how's that? There you go. So yeah, there it is. There it is. Let me know what you guys think. I am, like I said, I'm very pleased with this. That's one cool car, man. And the doors do open. I have a tough time keeping them closed. But yeah, both doors will open. Again, the biggest thing is trying to get them back in place. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. And we're on to the next. I don't know what the next is going to be. I want to do this. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that steam engine. I'd like to get that done for Christmas. I think that'll make a pretty cool addition to our Christmas display. We still got this. We still got that. We got these two. We got these. I think I'm gonna do that. So there we are. There we are. Real happy how that came out. I think I'm really digging that color. Mrs. Mac loves it. So you know what the wife says, it's a good color, then we gotta stick with it, right? So you know, keep the peace. All right. Ooh, 15 minutes, he's not going to be happy, but screw him. Here's to you, boys. When I start the other one, I'll be in touch. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Peace out.